All right, welcome everyone. My name is Paula Phillips, also known as JournalArtista, and if you're watching this on YouTube, this is a live show recorded on Ustream.tv that I have every Wednesday and Saturday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And I also have a live chat here, so if I'm talking to people, they're the ones in the they're my friends in the box, and we would love to have you join us. Okay, so check out my other video when a little bit later. I have a upload on YouTube, doing the altered uh, coloring book. Not just altered, it's my art journal. For example, I color on one page and then I do some art on the other page. Sorry for that strange shadow. Um, anyway, so was doing some coloring this past little while, and I do it while I'm watching TV, the wind down at the end of the day. So let's just put this, see if I can put this. So I've been trying to do all Christmas type thingy-me-doos. Christmas, I only have one book called A Splash of Color, made by Penny Press. It's $8.99. Well, $8.99 in Canada. It's probably $6.99 in the US. You can get them at almost every, grocery store. I got them at Shoppers Drug Mart here in Canada, which is like a Walgreens, because it's made by the company that makes I was going to say colored pencils, no, that makes crosswords and that type of thing. So I've been doing, this one just has marker. I don't know if it shows the colors, pink and blue and whatever. This one has a little bit of marker, or mostly marker at the top, and a little bit of shading on these packages with some pencils on these 4 packages. So I don't know if it's really making a difference, because a lot of them already have the hash marks on the side. And then, so I colored those, colored that, and I colored this Mamba Jamba. And it's busy, but I haven't done any shading. I'm definitely going to put the Stardust clear gel pen in the where it's the snow, on the snow parts. And maybe I'll only shade like the trees or some such thing. But these flourishy things, sweet goodness, they take a long time. Oh, ask him if you could do some adult coloring at the library. So I've done, those are the works in process, and I showed you before that I did the Christmas ornaments. Jean can say Christmas balls and nothing happens. I say Christmas balls and it's a disaster. So I showed these before. I did this one with Prisma Scholars, Prismacolor Scholar set, which is a little bit cheaper, obviously a lot cheaper than the premiers, and some of them have a little sparkly from that Stardust clear stuff I was talking about. And this one, so this is a multitude of different pencils and techniques. So in the middle, this is what I colored on stream. Well, I colored these two when I was testing the Pablos. Disaster. I tried to fix this one, but no amounts of layering could fix this bad boy. So in the middle is only pencil. This particular one is only Pablo's, no marker. And you see how soft I can blend that out? This, and then the rest, all this other stuff, let me see. That's that one and that one are only pencil. Middle's only pencil. This particular one's only pencil. And then all the rest, all of these ones are marker first and then pencil over. So you can see the Pablo, some of them are Pablo's. These, like this was Pablo's, but this was, I'm also using polychromos. So I'm testing. I'm testing. It was fun with music. Oh, that's good. So even on this one page, I have all different things. So like I said, once I finish my Secret Sister picture, now I can color other things. Okay, so I think I'll put one of those in my art journal tonight. so obviously I've colored some pages. This is um, jelly printed deli paper. See that 5 times fast. I'm enjoying the polychromos, and I know that the Caran d'Ache Pablos are more expensive than polychromos, I think, and I know they're both oil based apparently. So they're both oil based, so that's why I kind of was testing them out. I need to test them both out, so I was trying to test them out against the Pablos. Anyways, I really did. This shading, in the middle here. No, the Christmas bulbs were just in Prismacolor Scholar. Okay, but do you see how seamless this is, right? That's also just pencil, I think. This particular red one. No, must have marker. So this seamless over here. Oops, I hope that's clear. But I have a pretty seamless. Well, those two lines are actually on the page. Anyways, I have a pretty seamless blend here. I did blend it right on the side here. And I can do that with Prismacolor Premiers, but it takes me a lot longer time. You know what, Kathy? I thought that exact same. Hi, Kathy, by the way. Kathy said that I could put one of the wood deers I just got from Dar on here. And I'll have to think about that. Maybe I can stamp them. She gave me more than one. Because this is also a coloring book. Like, I still gonna color these. Well, I don't know if they're emus or ostriches or I don't know. We'll have to ask Eileen what these bad boys are. She probably, who knows what those are. But because I'm still coloring in here all these different pages, as well as doing, as well as doing some art journaling, all the art journaling I'm doing is pretty flat. Yeah, the practice, yeah, maybe as I practice, I will get faster with the prismas. But so that's what I'm practicing anyways. What I was doing wrong here, if you go and you can go back and watch the video, was that I was pressing way too hard. So, and I was doing this flicking thing, which was even getting more because I was pressing too hard. So you have to, but once I started using a light touch, as all my friends Dee Dee and Janet always tell me, then I was able to get a better shade. I did these ones in the middle after this one first, that one second. I got better as I go. So, so anyways, I thought maybe I could put this one there. Not sure what I would do on this side of the page, but or how to color the deer. Obviously, I want this side to be Christmas. I mean, I have lots of Christmas pages, so I don't know if that'll go best. Oh, what I wanted to say, here's the difference. Let's find a good um, blended ones over here. Okay, so Prismacolor Scholar, see how you can see those lines? Oh, me too, Anita. I've never used them. I'm like some of my other friends uh, who shall remain nameless. I had, so my full set of Prismacolors are actually, they're not Prisma Premiers, they're made by Sanford. So that's how long I've not used them. So I had the pencils, but I never colored. Even when all this other stuff came out, like coloring stamped images and stuff, I just didn't. I mean, I did some years ago, but not anytime recently. And when I say years ago, I mean like 12 years ago. Anyway, so Prisma Scholars, you can see that I have so if you see here, it's blended completely, right? Because it's a more expensive pencil, whereas my Scholars leave a little bit of line. They're not as much blendy, but I shouldn't say that. If I worked hard, I might be able to get the blend. If I work longer, I was trying to get, I was trying to get loose with my coloring and then just doing a little bit at a time. You know, or not, so I'm not being so crazy and spending hours and hours and hours in my coloring books, um, practicing. So the verdict on the Prismacolor Scholars, if you can't afford, Prisma Premiers and definitely the Caran d'Ache Pablos and or the Prismacolor Premier, the Pablos, or the Polychromos, there's nothing wrong with Prisma Scholars. Hi, Elizabeth. Bye, Elizabeth. Sorry, I didn't see you come in. I can take a photo. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can tell. I can take a photo side by side, you know, but I mean, I can get the Prisma. Oh boy. It would just take longer, I think. I'll try that. I'll do a page with Prismacolor Scholars. No, I don't use any blenders at all. No blenders. It's all pencil. Just how my wonderful friend Dee Dee Willingham taught me. I think that maybe blenders will be good, but I wanted to practice blending without them. So hopefully one day I could, you know, draw my own poinsettia, and color it in then. So I'm just again practicing. Well, so we have some options. I could put the poinsettia, and see, look, this is, oh, see what I mean about Dar's stamp? So I just got a Secret Sister boxes, recorded the video before this. I think it's still on private. I'll do that as soon as I get off. But look, let me try to get it in the light. See this bad? See this? This is exactly what I mean. Look at those things I colored. Where's the other one that's like that? See what I mean, Vern? Oops. Let's get in camera here. Look at that. These are just like this. That's awesome. So you know what? I could do this page, and because the main element's already done, right? I might be able to do both pages. So here's the options. But sometimes I love asking for some help, which side I should do what on. Where's my other one now? Because like I said, I try to match up. I like to match up the page. It might be easier if I put this down. I like to color one page and then art journal on the other side. So that's kind of what I've chosen pages that I wanted, that I've stuck stuff on, or I want to do this fox, and and anyways, I turned that other side blacks because I knew that whatever was under there I wasn't going to color. All right, so I also have this page where I have already colored it, and there's no pencils. This is just marker. I have put some of that clear, can you see the glaze? Or the sparkle, I mean. I have put the Stardust pen by Secura Jelly Roll. So I could do on this side with some other stuff, right? But, I would obviously add some green to this. This is a deli jelly piece of paper. Jelly printed deli paper, jelly deli paper. And I just put some red paint over it. So obviously I would have to add some of this blue before I put this bad boy down. But I do like that this is blue and these Christmas ornaments are blue. But these Christmas ornaments they're a little awkward. Maybe I could hang them up from here and just cut that part off. What do you guys think? Because it's an awkward like layout of them. You know what I mean, Vern? Yeah, the Crayola ones. Now, did I say Crayola? I meant Prismacolor Scholars if I said Crayola. I don't have any of them. But I tried some at my mom's and the pigment was so you could barely see it. But it depends on it depends on what you're going to use. So it depends on the age. Sorry, I was thinking about, hey, you use what you have or what you can afford, and you know if you watch Amazon, or if you put them in your cart, save them for later, like the Prismacolor Scholar, I got mine for $25 Canadian. That's like 19 American for 60. That's cheap, and they work pretty good, pretty well. So anyways, I can maybe hang them like this. Cut it off, hang them, and then I could add more blue, something going on over here, maybe some trees. I'm going to do both pages. I'm going to do both pages tonight. But what I'm asking you, my friends, and I'm going to put something here. I'm going to put a post-it note here because I keep going back and forth and forgetting where my page is. See, look, here we go again. Okay. So again, because this is kind of flowers in the background, I think the poinsettia goes better here. Don't you think? I think so. Then we can use Dar's stamp, and it'll really that she gave me, and it'll show up really nicely. All right, done. Okay, thanks, Ange. So I'm still researching these pencils. I'm having a good time trying to figure out. I think I'm gonna hang it like this. It's just such an awkward layout. All right. So I think I'll have to dangle them. Maybe I'll have to put something. Maybe I'll glue. Sorry, I'm thinking about how I can incorporate some of the things that Dar sent me in my Secret Sister box. Ooh, maybe we could add some of this red ribbon to hang it from. Oh, I love this stuff, but I can't. Oh boy, it's all tangled. Just like Christmas. I could cut. I was thinking about that. I mean, I could. Well, see, they're all layered funny. So they're layered on top of each other, so you can't even cut some of them out without messing it up. So I think I'm gonna. Um, this is real life, people. Real life. Ooh, I got it off. I love this stuff because it reminds me of. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna put it in my other art. Ooh, the tree that we did the other night. My mind is thinking. I'm gonna add that on there. But growing up, my mom always had this type of tinsel. The people in the chat are going nuts. It's always a good time. Always a good time in chat. Anyways, just the larger stuff. So that's a good memory of Christmas. But I'm gonna dangle it up there, and I'm gonna put a knot just like this nice bow, just like Dar did. And then if I'm coloring in the journal, I can lay it flat. You know what I mean? Okay. So we need a little bit of a different blue, first of all. And I think these colors really go well with the colors on this page, which, was accidental. Turn it around and hang it by the single bulb. You think that looks funny? Because let's put some light blue on there, and then we can think about it in a minute. Okay. So I'm going to use, I don't have to use the inspiration on here because this is pretty much the right colors. So, okay, let's do some different color of blue. I want a light blue like that. So, Liquitex. Because right now, oh no, I'm going to stamp Dar's on the other, but it still goes well with this page. I'm telling you, that stamp, I don't know what they call them, flourishes or whatever, but a lot of my pages, a lot of my, yeah, pages or coloring books has those type of paisley flourish type design. So I have some light blue permanent, and I'm pretty sure that that's what I would have used in the background of this Jelly Deli page. And but I think that's probably too light, so I'm going to use some cerulean blue hue, and see what happens. Both of these are opaque colors. Don't make me a lot. Yeah, they're both opaque colors by Liquitex Basics, which is the student grade, where, these are the heavy bodies. And I suppose I can mix some white and blue with my mixing colors there, but let's just use some Liquitex Basics here. All right. So I think right now, and like I always say, I'm going to use a palette, then it doesn't happen. So let's just put a little bit down and test it. Use a gift card. Yeah, these are from a penny press. And it's actually, let me show you here. I have the book right here. I'll show you in a second. So I scraped that, but I was bending my card like this. Mostly flat rather than sticking up. And if you don't, sometimes you gotta make sure. I should have put a piece of something or other under there. Wax paper or deli paper. So not light. So here's what I'm gonna do. Let's add a little bit of the light blue permanent in Liquitex Basics. When I find out which color I like, originally I bought this size. The full set of the Liquitex Basics. I got it with the coupon while I was in the US. Decided which colors I like the most, and then bought this size. This is 4 ounces, 118 milliliters. And then once you find out which colors you like from here, you buy the Mamba Jamba ginormous size. So cerulean, yeah, so this is the ginormous cerulean blue hue, but I'm going to go back to the light blue permanent, which is one of my favorite colors, so that when I run out of this, I'll get the Mamba Jamba size. But sometimes, you can get these ones at Michael's for like in Canada it's 2 for $9. It might be probably 3 for $9 in the US. So let's add a little bit of the light blue. And because it's not dry, the darker cerulean blue hue is not dry, maybe it'll mix in without getting too muddy. Now I'm using my gift card or hotel room key card or whatever you got going on. I'm now pressing it, more stamping it, I guess. So it's definitely looking distressed, if that I rather not say that it's looking rough. It's definitely looking distressed. All right, let's heat set it. Now underneath okay, I'm getting hot. This is hard work. You didn't see the hanger? I didn't see a hanger either. There's no hanger. Oh, no, but the hanger me do's. The people in the chat are asking about the hangers. See, but they're going all different ways. Look, this one's going on the bottom. This one's going at the top. This one doesn't even showing the hanger, so it must be underneath. I might have to draw in a hanger. Because none of them, none of the ones on the end. I'm going to have to draw in. Well, we're going to have, as Dee Dee says, we're going to have the essence of hanger. He got the essence of hanger. Oh, boy. The problem is, what I was going to say, is that I didn't put enough carpet tape or two-sided tape underneath the jelly deli paper. Yeah, it's meant to be a tile, Carol, but it's hard. It's hard to. I'll show you. We'll talk about the layout when we put it down. What I did want to say, while this is drying a minute, is that the Creative Jumpstart class that I'm one of the uh, 24 different artists, or 25, I suppose, if you include Nat, and it's Nat Callback. This is her fifth time fifth time running the class. Again, it's called Creative Jumpstart 2016. You get 25 downloadable videos by 24 different artists, and there's some awesome artists. You can go to my blog, www.journalartista.com, to sign up. There's a link below there, on the bottom there, that says click here to sign up. It's going to route you to Nat's blog, but I still get credit. It is one of those affiliate type programs. The theme is art and translation, and until December 11:59 Eastern, December 11th. So that's 2 days. Got 2 days from now, you get to save another $5 off. So it's $40 American, which is a great deal for the next 2 days, and then it'll go up to $45 American. Um, Yeah, so it's uploaded there's a different video uploaded every day for 25 days in January. They're fully downloadable, and you get to keep them forever. Again, there's some other awesome artists like Jane LaFazio, Michelle Ward, Joanne Sharp, Mary Beth Shaw, Diana Trout, Julie Faye Van Balzer, Ray Miss Egan, and myself. So I it does. It goes up $5 in 2 days. In 2 days. If you're watching this on December 9th, I almost said November. That's what it feels like. On December 9th, um, December 11th is when it's at midnight. 11:59 Eastern is when it stops. Kikan. Yeah, and I've taken it, not just because I'm a participating artist this year. I've taken this class more than once in the past. Maybe not last year because, financial reasons. But um yes, but if you go to my page, it is going to route you to website. Nat Callback's website. She's the organizer of this, and yeah, it goes back to her, but as long as you click it from any of the links that I post, there's a Biddy link or there's JournalArtista.com, I get credit. Yeah. And I appreciate it, guys. I'm so very appreciative that for all the support, this past couple of months. Well, for the last 5 years. So I truly appreciate it. But again, don't feel pressured to sign up under me. If you feel, you know, if you want to support one of the other artists, that's great too. So just wanted to remind everybody that there's 2 more days for an extra $5 off. Hikan. I think I'm pretty much dry though. But yeah, it's an awesome. I think it's awesome, and it's not just a selling tactic. I've actually bought it, participated in it before I was a participating artist. All right, so now I covered most of the black. So the red. This is more burgundy. I don't know if my computer's showing it very well. And there's even like a lighter blue, but this green, we need to add some things on the top with the green. So again, let's look at this. I'm gonna have, yeah, there's no way, nobody's gonna look at it so close that they want to say, oh, Paulette, there's no thingamajig on there. Hanger thing. That's wrong. This is my art journal, so I'm not gonna, I could just hang it like this and cut off that bad boy, but I like it with the thought with the string. I also like things sticking out of my art journals. All right, so I got to look at this, and I got to think about, before I do any more stenciling or whatnot, I have to think about proportion, right? So I'm going to use my wonderful friend Maria McGuire stencil. And you've seen me use this quite a bit in the last little while because it's two of my favorite things, chevrons and doily type. But it definitely looks a doily type looking stencil. Oh, technically a mask. But anyways, I really like uh, the thought that it could also be used as a snowflake. And this is what this stencil is also from stencilgirlproducts.com. All right. So I'm thinking this is just a ginormous. Okay, this is what we were talking about. If I kind of laid my Christmas ornaments like anywhere you put it, it looks awkward. Before I forget, somebody wanted to see. Uh, I don't know where I put the coloring book. Oh my goodness. I just showed it. It's gotta be too. Oh yeah, it's right in front of my face, literally. Um, it's made by Penny Press, which is the company that makes Sudoku, crosswords, word search, fill-it-ins, all those fun games. This one's called the Splash of Color Christmas Special Edition. I also have the Splash of Color, the other one, which is also awesome. Maybe it's not called that. Sorry, Flying Colors, Volume 1. This is Volume 1. Maybe they're going to do different, this is the Christmas ones, but look at those, her Christmas ornaments, which she did put sideways like that. Hey, that's the mirrored part, though. That doesn't work. Oh, yeah, it does. She laid it, but that's awkward. Anyway, so I really like this book, and I am determined to finish. I'm going to color this one soon. I'm determined to finish as many as I can by Christmas. Because when am I going to use it again? I'm not going to be coloring anything Christmas. I'm not going to be coloring anything Christmas until next Christmas. Okay, so what I was saying is I'm going to think about composition, right? I don't want to put one right in the middle and they'll never see it, right? Yeah, Eileen. Oh, thanks, Allie. Thanks, Carol. You can't cut them apart because there's some in the foreground, some in the background. But if I cut, they're awkward. It's going to be awkward regardless. I mean, maybe I could cut some of those ones, but then see this one that won't work because I'll have an awkward. You can't. I've checked. Anyways, so if I don't want to put it right in the middle because I'm not going to be able to see it, right? And when people look at this page, they're not going to be saying your hanging thingamadoos are in the wrong spot. Um. Anyway, so I want to say, okay, I want one up here, maybe, definitely, or I definitely want one over here. I'll hang it off the edge, and then maybe one here, and I'll hang it off the edge on this side. All right, top, 2, 3. Everybody gonna remember that? So this light green, I happen to have brilliant yellow green, which I think will be good. There's not much left in here, so let's cross our fingers that it'll be enough. Dropping my things. The compilation is strange, and that's the thing. Like when I was coloring, sometimes I think when people draw these, to be honest, it doesn't make a lot of sense because look, I was coloring this, and I mean I finished it without shading first. I mean everything I color lately. So I'm coloring this, and there's like, okay, so this building doesn't line up with any other buildings. You know what I mean, Vern? So I tried to color some of these that had the you can actually see the chimney, but I'm lost in the sauce on some of these. Like this one, I had to decide that this one was like the whole building, even though it looks wonky, and came out because nothing is attached right. Like this rooftop, you think would go with this one, it's up there. Razor Frazen. And the same on this page. Some things just didn't match up. And I haven't shaded this one yet. So I know sometimes you have to use your imagination, and same with those balls, the Christmas ornaments. It's just a weird compilation. But I guess if it was just it was in the magazine like this, wouldn't matter. All right. Hi, Lisa. No, that's Christmas. They're Christmas bulbs, Christmas ornaments. Maybe not bulbs. Alright, so I'm going to put the green. I must have another one in here because this bad boy is almost done. Again, this is brilliant yellow green. Put it on my nonstick pad. Alright, let's find a brush. And hopefully not one that's hard. That one I actually put in some water. Sherry, I think that the video, I'm pretty sure you can buy it in January. I'll have to ask Nat how long. I'm sure you can still buy it in January, for sure. And I'm not sure how long after that. Alright, so I'm going to put a little bit of green paint. Even though student grade paint has a longer open time than say like craft paint or stuff like that, I don't want to risk it. I want them to come out, each one's, because it's a mask, of course I have to do it this reverse way. But I don't want to risk if I do this in 3 spots, I don't want to risk once I start wiping it off here and then here. By the time I get to here, it might be too dry to wipe it off then. Know what I mean, Vern? So I'm just going to do one at a time. This baby wipe. And sometimes, like I say, you kind of have to do the twist, as I like to say. When you have such, some of these chevron looking arrows. No, I know they're chevrons. The innermost parts of this mask are pretty detailed. So sometimes just wiping it won't work. You really have to get into the grooves, push your... Well, the theme, Carol, is art in translation. So each one of us has interpreted that in a different way and inspired by different things. And they're not prompt videos, they're all technique inspiration. I mean, if you can use them as prompts, don't get me wrong. But again, these are a whole bunch of awesome artists in one class, you know, for an affordable price. All right, so it's a little bit brighter than this page, but not too bad. Art and translation, it could be translated in many different ways, right? And you'll see there is method to the madness, though. There is different. The theme is art and translation, but there's different categories, shall we say? And then each person. We were sponsored by Liquid Text as well as Winsor Newton, and I chose Liquid Text. So there's also different mediums, right? There, you know, as we know, Liquid Text sells everything from spray paint to acrylic inks to mediums to soft body paints, heavy body paints. Liquid Text, their basics line, their professional line. They sell paint markers. Did I miss something? Lots. And Winsor Newton, you know, they've got some new markers out. They also have watercolor markers. They have watercolor crayon, like bars type thing, I believe they are. They have obviously some watercolors in a tube form. So you'll see all different types of things. All right. One more. And I like in this red, you can still see the original jelly print, maybe not on camera. Oh yeah, and you can still see it within that red. So I'm not losing anything. I think I might have to use a different baby wipe for this one. You have to have a fairly clean baby wipe, um, so that you're actually wiping. Excuse me. You're actually wiping off the paint and not just spreading it around. Jean says technically, translation is interpreting the language. In this case, it's art in a way so that the reader artist understands it. Hmm. Maybe my translation was wrong. Yes, Ali, that's what they mean. But Liquitex, before I was, this class, and before we were sponsored by them, um I've all these jelly deli prints are 95%. Any of my Krusty Bits jelly prints are all using Liquitex Basics, or mostly, um because I love how the way they look. So I've been using Liquitex products, long before this. And like I said, the giveaway I gave the other night was a set that I purchased myself. So yes, we were, but most of my Liquitex supplies are purchased myself. Not that I'm not very grateful. So I've loved Liquitex supplies and Liquitex Basics for a while. I mean, I've had the freestyle brushes since I lived in Burlington 3 years ago when they first came out. So um, I use their product not just because I'm sponsored, but because I really like it. Okay, what did I look down here for? Oh, I need to use something to clean up, not clean up, but I have some leftover paint, so I want to throw it in. This is a UK company. You can buy a lot of the UK fashion magazines in this size that I like to, this is light green, that I like to use to alter. Alright, I just put that. I probably just stuck my whole journal in that, as usual. Well, this is actually, if you're new and you haven't seen this before, um, this is actually a coloring book. You can get it now. Thanks, Janet. Hi, Sandy. So it's called Calming Therapy Anti-Stress Coloring Book that I'm working in. They also have color therapy, calming color, and another one. And what I like about it is a really thick cover. The pages are really good quality. It's a sewn binding. I did add some duct tape on the back though. All right. Heat gun. Where is it? Up here. Yeah, no, these don't have deadlines. You can download them. These are inspirational and technique driven. So they're not, it's not a prompt type class. I mean, you can take each video as a prompt, the technique as a prompt, but it's not like a different word or theme. Like, it's not like that. It's not a time thing. Heat gun. Let me tell you, there really is a coloring book for everything. Any any type of thing you want to think of. Yeah. And these videos, like I said, they're 24 different videos upload one every day, but they're downloaded, or 25 days through January. Obviously, there's 31 days in January. But anyways, you're downloadable all the way till November. So as soon as you get the class, or the day it comes out, right, you can watch them anywhere, anytime, but you can download them until November, right? So it's a long time. And like I said, if you buy next couple days, it's $40. You cannot get 25 videos from top quality artists for $40. Just saying. Not I'm very honored to be part of this group. I can't believe I'm in this good of a company. So don't think I'm not saying as a reflection of myself, just a reflection of the whole thing. You know what I mean. You know what I mean, Vern. But you can check. There's a video. I have a video posted on my blog that, click on that, but make sure to come back to my blog to click on my link if you want to support me, that is. That shows all the different artists in there. Okay, now, you think I have a Christmas snowflake stamp? A Christmas, thanks, Debbie. You think, I truly appreciate the support, my friends. I really, really do. Um, you think I have a snowflake stamp anywhere close? Not very likely. Not very likely. It definitely needs some white. Although this, now, who remembers the last time I used white paint? But like I said, it's not a separate thing, right? You're not just getting my video for $40 in the next, or $45 if you wait after 2 days. You get all 24 videos. 25 videos with 24 artists. Sweet goodness, drink some water. Yeah, and it's not like, New Year's or necessarily Christmas themed things, right? So it's not, you don't have to do them all right in January. So what I was saying, the last time I used the white spray ink, it was bad news, my friends. Bad, bad news. But I did get some Liquitex titanium white acrylic ink. You gotta shake, shake, shake. But I might not want to do that with my ornaments. Let's see. So what do we got? We'll test it out on the page. I definitely need to add back some black, don't you think? Because now look, that green to me now actually looks a little, especially on over here, looks yellow, eh? Looks less green, more yellow. No, I just had 3 coffees. Not today. I just had 3 coffees since like 6:30. So I do want to try to sleep tonight. But see, they do have some white over here, but I think it needs some black. A little bit. So remember we did, let's see what happens when I add a little bit of my foamy stamp with some black. I'm going to excuse my arm. Um, yeah, no, actually, Simon just got me some Christmas blend Starbucks coffee the other day. Believe me, sometimes I run out of cream, but there's no chance I'm running out of coffee. Hey, Trina. Yeah, I just had a few too many coffees, not drinks. Maybe a few too many sniffs of the hand sanitizer. So let's see. I'm gonna ink this bad boy up. This is just black archival. Stuck to it. Ranger black archival ink. It's permanent. And if you watch Saturday night show, you'll see how I made this. This is just a little piece of foam. So let me just see. Stamp it a little bit. Oh, now that looks like an arrow. Well, you know I love arrows. But look, it's much brighter with ink than I had some paint. Probably because I'm pressing it in more. Like when I'm pressing this with paint, I'm like, ooh, I don't want to get my fingers dirty. Yeah, right. Um, so I'm gonna, ooh, that's dark. Let's see, one up here, maybe. What is Carol asking? Hi, Cindy. Boy, yeah, talking a little bit about, all right. So let's check out this. I mean, I'm gonna do three, right? I always say I like to, if you're building a page and you're worried about composition, try hanging things off, do things in odd numbers. And I've said for years, when you're adding anything, a different layer, so I want to have the trees overlapping or touching some of these other spots, those other things. I find that helps me anyways with and plus if I have it hanging, then I don't have to glue it down. All right, let's see. Of course, you can't see when it's up here. Okay, this is the time of night that I need to edge it. Uh-oh. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Star. Appreciate that. So I know that, I mean, there's a few of us that have taken it, over the years. But, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of things you can find on YouTube. But sometimes, you know, in my humble opinion, I'm gonna add a little bit more up here. In my humble opinion, uh-oh, did I do that upside down? Oh no, it's just not very much on there. Um, you never, you're gonna get some good quality videos out of this, some good quality. Um, I'm sure. I mean, you can find almost everything online, but it's gonna be as good quality as some of these artists. What I'm trying to say. I'm sure the artists that are in this class, and again, you can go look them up, are not going to have similar videos on YouTube online, if that's what you're asking. Hey, Carol, I'm in the kitchen cooking dinner with you? Well, does that mean you're going to blame me if you burn something? I promise, it wasn't my fault. Okay, let's ink the edge. So I have multiple different archival inks. This is obviously the newest one. This is older. So I use my older pads, because it can fray. I don't know if you can see it. My pad is frayed a little bit there. But if you're doing a lot of direct-to-paper techniques, and I just like to ink the edges, you don't have to. If you don't like that style, just what I like. I'm going to ink them over here too, because this is, pretty much a continuous page. I might have to go a little bit in here. But like I said, you can whatever you like. Okay, so I inked the edges just to make sure. And it does, these pages do have some cool quotes. So, maybe I'll just dangle it. Hang it. What do you guys think? Oh my gosh, if I look on the TV, on the computer, my background, you can't even see it now. Like it's so similar that you can't even see the Christmas balls, the ornaments. Know what I mean, Vern? Where's my other post-it note here? I just want to check something. So if I had this guy over here somewhere, Where's the edge? He probably looks better, eh? Know what I mean, Vern? It is lost, that's for sure. But if I do something like this over here, you know, then I can put a title down there. But either way, we're going to have white spots. So let me put some white spots. I could probably cut this. What do you guys think? Here's another option, is to cut this out as a border. Pretty easy to glue this down and cut out a border, maybe 1/4 of an inch around. What do you think? Let's do some white spots and then we'll decide. Oh, there's Sarah just said the same thing. Mat them with solid. I know that too, eh, Anita? Anita says she likes the page without the Christmas balls. I know. Let's do some white. Let's do some white. Because I could also, once I mat it, if I wanted to mat it, I can make it just like a tip-in. If I wanted to do, you know, a title here, I could just make this like a tip-in or something. Oh boy, let's put some white. Too many decisions. Who knew? Too many decisions. Dar says maybe a black Sharpie pen on the edge. It's easy. Does Sharpie go over colored pencil? Then I would lose some of my glittery stuff over here. You know, if I do a tip in and then, you know, it doesn't distract. Then my Christmas ornaments can be, you know, whichever way I want them. Like this, maybe? And then this could be hiding something. Anyway, let's add some white spots. I keep saying the same thing over and over and over. Spray some water. So after all that talk about the Creative Jumpstart 2016, you can head over to JournalArtista.com to sign up for that. It's the last post. All right. So I'll get out the fancy dancy splatter tool that Jane made me, which I absolutely love. Jane, were you there? I don't know if Jonathan's still here anymore. Probably busy, but he made he actually on stream, because this is a broom that Jane just tied with put on these are bristles cut from a broom that my friend Jane tied with a rubber band elastic. And so on stream the other night, well, it was a couple streams ago anyways, he was in this, okay, I won't say where he was, but let's say he wasn't home and he took the broom. He would just took the broom where he was at. He just took the broom. They're like, he says, oh, they won't miss this. They won't miss the a couple bristles off their broom and made one right there. Oh boy. This is hilarious. Yeah, it's a plastic broom. Oh boy. Everybody says that they like the tipping. Okay. Oh, I don't want to get splats over here though. So I've got to create. I mean, I did put some, I don't know if you can see that, some white dots in a marker. Did I see the Pantone? No, I did not. Did anyone see as I talk here, did anyone see the video that Ranger released maybe it was a couple days ago now. I was on Twitter for yesterday or whatnot. But Ranger put out a video wrapping ink pads together. Let's see. All right, some splats. Also, if you don't like splats, except Jean, You don't have to put splots. We're gonna get Jean to do splots one of these days. All right. If you want a hint of splots, you go really. You see what I'm doing with the bristles? I'm fanning them out. My watercolor commission. You must not be talking about me. Watercolor. Well, if I would, I sure didn't have a watercolor. Nobody would commission watercolor from me. All right, so if you just want few splats, you just go really light. But I like some big splots. So you just gotta do what you like. All right, so I'm gonna put that to the side. I could probably just put. You know what? This page. Well, it's not. I might. What if you guys think if I called this page "Peace on Earth"? Because mandala is kind of like supposed to be peace. Oh, Blade did one. I'm like, I sure as heck didn't do any commission watercolor paint. Oh boy. Unless it was a how not to do. How not to watercolor. Sorry, trying to find something else. I always do too much and then I need something to splot on. Ooh. I'm gonna splot on these. This is also Liquitex acrylic inks there. But I have a lot of leftover journals around just to make sure. Whoop! Because I don't like to waste paint. Alright, but I'm not gonna. We'd be here all night if I did that. Okay, so while that's drying, let's do this. There's something in there that I don't like. In that, I said earlier I'm drinking water with the Dasani. I think it was Dasani. One of those squeezable stuffs. The squeezable stuffs. That turned out well. One of the squeezable. What am I trying to say here? Yeah, one of those juice things. So I'm just gonna put a marker. Water flavoring. Anyways, in the water flavoring, there's some, I don't know, something funny in there. So first I'm gonna cut it down. I'm gonna cut it down. I want to see what a tip-in looks like within a full page here. Rather than, I don't know if you guys think a tip-in might be awkward if it's just the balls. You know what I mean? But if I put them like this, what do you guys think? And then maybe I could do some journaling and white pen. I don't know. Cut this bad boy off. Maybe I'll use my fancy dance. I never use it very often. I've had this bad boy. This is made by Plaid. But back in the day, like, you have the decollage. You have Ripper thing. I don't know if they still make these, to be honest. I should have marked the other side, or else I could be getting crooked. See, it just kind of gives you a torn edge without, like, tearing your paper this way. Night, Veronica. So, this way I can glue the ornaments on like this. Let's test it out first. My spots aren't dry. Ooh. My tinsel. I don't want to lose that because that tinsel. So I could, does this look funny if it's the whole, oh yeah, because my tip-in would also hang out like that, which is fine. I like things that hang out. What do you guys think? Oh, it looks like I already got spots. Ooh, maybe the spots need to come out over here anyways. Ornaments in space. What do you guys think? Then they can kind of look like it's a cluster rather than a, you know what I mean, Vern. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. And then maybe I can do some journaling around it. What do you guys think? Big piece? Big piece or one cut around it? And just tip it in that way. I think I'm gonna take a heat gun to this. Heat gun. A big page or cut around them. The thing is, when you make big spots, it takes a long time to dry. I mean, I have every color of cardstock going. And I mean, I could probably find a nice green or blue, which would pick out, like, or a red one. You know, when I posted the poinsettia one on it, you know, you guys saw it on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook there. I use I don't know if it's just a droid, but I take rectangular pictures and then you can't really um anyways, I need to use something called Square Droid so that I can post it on Instagram. And I put a red background that was the color bright red that was, you know, this particular color here, and it really made it pop. Even, you know, even more than black did. Cut around but a wide margin. Cut around it, cut around it. It's still gonna be a tip in, Debbie. Just whether it's a big tip in. Alright, this is gonna take forever. So we're just gonna put it off to the side again. I mean, I can cut around it, and if it doesn't look like we want it to look, I don't want to lose this. If it doesn't look the way I want it to look, then, you know. Okay, I was just gonna say, if I don't like the way it's cut around, I can just get another piece of black paper and, so how am I gonna do? I'm gonna draw around it with pencil and then cut it out. I know, yeah, I can leave a flat edge over here for the tipping, for sure. All right, let's see. Now I gotta, because I don't want to glue it down right yet. I'm just testing this out. I can always, so it's a little wonky in spots, but hey, if you make it wonky, it looks like you just go back and, sorry if I'm not even on camera. I know I could glue it and cut it, Debbie. I'm just, I want to see what it looks like. I want to test it out is what I'm saying. If I don't like the look, if I glue it down and I don't like the way it looks, you know, just with a border, then I'm stuck because it's glued down. You know what I mean, Vern? No, it has to be this way. Because if I were to tip this bad boy in, it's going to have to, anyways, I got my own registration marks going on. No, I know you don't need a pencil, but if I don't like the way it looks like with this, right, with the outline, then I want to be able to just put it on on another piece and tip it in that way. Know what I mean, Vern? Does that make sense? I don't want to limit my options at this point, so I'm trying to say. I really like these scissors. I'm not sure if Fiskars. The last time I saw them, they were in purple. These are ergonomic scissors. I have the ginormous ones too. Um, and they're not very expensive at, Joann's.com and places like that. But there's a spring, so all you have to do is press it, and then it opens. The Pablos versus Polychromos. Well, I'm just testing that right now, Jane. But my thing is, let me just look at this again. My thing is that I don't like to review necessarily until I've done enough research. Like, I spent a long time. I've colored for many hours and hours and tens of hours. A long time with the Prismas. Not as long as some people, but I want to make sure I use them more than that to test. Or not to test, before I say, conclusively which ones I like the best. Does that make sense? Not even to say which I like the best, just to try to be, I want to be educated in what I'm saying, right? Before, I just don't want to use them a couple times and then say I'm the expert on it. And even if I use them, 100 hours or more, I'm still not going to be an expert. But I'm definitely going to have, more of an educated opinion. Does that make sense? You know what I mean, Vern? Sorry. I obviously didn't outline this very well because I've got those extra marks, so I should have erased the other ones as not to confuse myself. But I'm telling you, those Pablos from the little that I've been using them, I really like them. I just have to, continue using them and Polychromos. I think the hard part that I struggle with the Polychromos is that I shouldn't say only, but I have the 24 set, right? And the hard part, like, there's no pink. And yes, I know you can layer them and all that stuff. But when you don't have, I gotta clean that bad boy up. All I see are pencil marks. All right, let's test again. So here's the thing, I was reading, and like I said, I'm no expert, but I was reading about if you want to know more about all this stuff, you definitely need to talk to Kathy. But then she maybe does other things, or maybe you're doing other things than I do, because what I've been researching, or what I found out, is that Pablos are supposed to be oil based, and Polychromos, these are both made by Caran d'Ache, is made. The Luminesce, did I say Polychromos? Caran d'Ache Luminesce are the most expensive, and they're supposed to be wax based. But their light fastness is awesome, right? So if you're going to do portraits and stuff that's going to be, or pictures that's going to be hung up, you want to use some of the Prismacolors or what do you guys think? See, right now, even if I cut it out, don't you guys think it still blends too much in with the background? So the Luminesce have a really high light fast. are really, then, oh sweet goodness, drink some water. Luminesce, maybe because they're wax, I don't know, they're more light fast than the Pablos. Kathy did not I wasn't able to make last night, the week or two before. Oh, there's some, what I was saying about that squeezer thing is like there's some fake banana taste in there. There's certain fake things that I can't handle, and fake banana is one of them. So where I would tip it in is right here. You guys don't think it's too distracting? A little higher? Do, 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 do. And of course, I mean, it's still a, it's still a tip in. Sweet goodness, why does this have to be so difficult? I mean, I could cut it out again if I were to go like this way, maybe. Looks like a snake. Yeah, she's Kathy Arbor on YouTube. She's done some research. Yeah, so the Luminesce, what was I saying about the Luminesce again? Is that I only have a set of 24, and, I don't mean only as that's like the end of the world, but I don't, um, so you guys don't think, Eileen thinks it's too much. I don't see much of a difference. That's the frustration for me. Even if when I write my, good thing I colored two different things. I think I'm just gonna go back and do a flat tip in with the paper. Then maybe I can write some stuff, because right now the background's too distracting, and then, you know what I mean, Vern? Or I'll try some red. Maybe black's too much. Maybe I can put this, I can still put this on red. I'm gonna try out a couple different things, and I'll tweet when I'm done. I'm just looking for a piece of deli paper here because my splots still aren't dry. I could use them on another page. Yeah, I can try to tip in, use them on. I sure have enough pages in here to use. That's for sure. Use some deli paper. Try not to press too hard. And this one, rats, stuck. See what I mean when you put something on red? Ooh, let's just try. Where did that piece go? So my Christmas ornaments, see, this is where it should go. Maybe I'll need to do a tip in on the other side of that page. Anyway, see when it goes on red, how much different other parts are more vibrant, or maybe I should do light blue, and then I can journal on the other side. So I think it's a good, I haven't been able to do much journaling on here, so I'll have to journal about this year's Christmas. And then maybe I will cut it off on this, maybe I'll only do whatever. They deserve to be on their own page. I'm gonna work it out. But this one, I think I can do something fun, because the other one started with a whole bunch of stuff that I had tried to incorporate the Christmas ornaments in. Whereas this one, I have more of a blank canvas. I'll just do a simple background of some green paint somehow, maybe green stencilage, and then on top of that, I'll use the stamp that Dar made me because I think it's perfect for a lot of the things that I'm coloring. It's so strange how perfect it is. I can't even show you, I mean, some of the other books. So I can just stamp this with black a couple places, a tiny bit of green as accents, and maybe not. I mean, there's some stuff in there. Maybe I'll just do some green splots and call it a day. Watch. Let's move some stuff out of the way. I'm just going to do, and when I stamp this, I'm not going to put it on acrylic block because I don't want, you know, the full square of it. You know what? I only want bits and pieces in a couple spots. Because then it won't look so uniform. You know what I mean, Vern? So again, I'm busting out my archival ink, which is, you know, waterproof. So then I can put any paint or whatever I want on top of it, and it's not going to come off. All right. So in fact, just to try to, let's see. So I'm going to push in the middle. Oh, yeah. So just a little something, something there. See how it just, you know, you can just use different parts of the stamp, or don't press so hard, or don't ink it as all over the place, or just press hard on certain spots. And then, well, see, so people in chat are saying simpler is better. Well, it all depends on, in my humble opinion, on your style, right? Like, as you can tell with my art journal pages, I mean, there's not ever a lot of white spots, let's just say. So you gotta work within the style that is your own, right? Or what you like. I shouldn't even say your own style, what you like to do. And right now, I love me some stampage. You know, I've been stamping for, you know, maybe not as long as some, but since the late 90s anyways. Well, I remember buying my first stamp when I was like 16 out of, believe it or not, on a class. We were going to, on a class trip when I was in high school. But anyways, I do like that these flowers in the background of this page. Night, Anita. But so let's just get some green splots, and I think we can call this one a night. All right. So the green I think I used on the other one was just a little bit too yellow. The green was too yellow. So let's see what else. Oh, I did get that other green. Yikes. This is Liquitex Basics also. This is deep green permanent. So let's use a little bit of that. I think all I need, a little bit of stamping, a little bit of splots, a few splots here and there, and I think it'll be perfect. Yeah, Jean doesn't like splots. Some people don't like the pages inked. You know, you gotta do what you like to do. Maybe, I mean, I don't mean that I've never done a page that's light in the, you know, that's simple. I'm doing one now, but lots of times, you gotta do what you like. Do what you enjoy. All right. Because there's so many different ways I could have took what I mean, like what Carol or people in the chat are saying. It would look nice on white with some red accents, this poinsettia. But I want to keep the shape of some of those flowers. This, we're working in a coloring book like this, is Night Sandy, Night Julie. What was I saying now? Oh, that's why I like to work in this particular, you know, in these coloring books, especially these ones that are sewn binding, real heavy paper and hardback and everything, real sturdy ones, is that I can't find my spray bottle. I just used it. Drink some water, Paula. How is this possible? Why do I have it on the floor? That's strange. So, because you can paint over, this I think is just Oh, this is a Liquitex Basics primary red, I think, which is more of a translucent paint. So you can get, so you can see some of the patterns, but it doesn't have to be, right? Yeah, that's right, Carol. All right, so I had a little bit of white on there. Let's see. Back to my splot brush. All right, same. I don't want. I'm not sure if I'm gonna. Well, obviously I'm gonna have to fix this or put some washi tape. You know, in this section of the coloring book, in this back section, I just want to find something to put another black piece of paper, I suppose. Um, on this back section, you're supposed to kind of doodle it within those shapes yourself. They kind of doodle in one. I'll show you here in a second. I'm trying to not get my book too far into the paint. And I'm definitely somehow going to have to use those wooden things those wooden embellishments that Dar sent me. That, so it's pretty dark green when it looks like dried on the page, don't you think? You can't even tell. It doesn't matter if my room is clean, if my room is dirty, if my desk is clear, if my desk is dirty. It what happened in, well, I inked it black, but when I was painting it, I went over the page a little bit. That was when I first painted it a while ago. All right. The problem is, again, my heat gun. Heat gun. It's going to take a while. What do you mean, the glitter? I might have to add some white. Let's see, there's not. Although the white might detract from the poinsettias today. Again, it's going to take forever to dry. Razzle Frazzle will be here all night watching. And as it's drying, it's even drying more of a dark color. Oh no, it's just because I inked the edge. This black, I just inked it. And I'm just going to go over with some tape later. Some type of matching washi tape. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. But see, let me hold this up. Well, I guess you can see more, but as it's drying, it looks more dark. So I might have to bust out some lighter stuff. Okay, my spots aren't dry, but I am just going to put this little bad boy here. Now I'm just thinking in my head if I need some light. How could I bring in some light of the green? But I think I'm just going to, and that's the lightest from that page next to it. But doesn't it look good? I can put it over these spots because it's going to be covered anyways. I like that. Simple. Maybe I have to use my white gel pen somehow. I'm not sure. But I actually just like it like that because it really brings up, I might outline it in white pen maybe. I have to think about it. I don't think it needs any more. I could add some white splots. I probably will, to be honest. I probably will add some white spots after the dark spots dry. Um, but yeah, just a little bit of something. It does need some white. What do you guys think? It needs some white, right? Hey, Bren, good to see you. But the light green, I don't know. Anyways, that's gonna be a wonderful night, a nice page. I might just do a nice Merry Christmas up here, and that's it. That's all it needs, right? Yeah, I could outline it in white, but we'll see. So we got a couple things going on. We got some. Oh boy, my splots got smushed. Smushed splots. Smushed splots. But I mean, I could do something in gold. I mean, yeah, we could do gold. But anyways, I'll have to think about it a little bit more. But I mean, just really though, a red background really makes this just jump off the page, I think. I might do some, maybe I just do some white up here, just a little tag. Like maybe that one of those tags that Dar gave me just stenciled on white or something. Just to write Merry Christmas. White circles. I can make them look like Christmas balls. I could just use white circles with like a toilet paper roll kind of circles so they're more uniform. But yeah, I think just maybe a little bit of white in the title is probably all I need. And I think I'm going to have it hanging up here somehow. Something separate. Maybe outline it with white gel pen, maybe. But I guess you're right, Carol. This is a simple page. Just a simple page without white. Different color. White rings. White rings. Hmm. Anybody see that pug commercial? It's like six laughing pugs or something like that. But white rings. Yeah. Yeah, just it might look nice with a little bit of white. But anyways, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Again, check out JournalArtista.com for the Creative Jumpstart, to purchase the Creative Jumpstart 2016. Again, it's $40. There's a coupon on there now that's $40 to get $5 off 45 bucks. So it's $40 for the next about 2 hours until 11:59 p.m. December 11th. So so anyways, I was just looking at this, thinking about all the other things I could do. So it was a fun two pages. I'll incorporate my Christmas ornament somehow on those other pages, or think about it in a different page, for a different page. But regardless, this other page is still, in my humble opinion, it still looks cool. I can add some Christmas stuff over here. It'll still match the other page perfectly. So, you know, I really like this though. So thanks very much for joining me. I'll see you everybody on Saturday night. Hi Janice. Bye Janice. Sorry if I missed saying hello to anybody. Um, thanks Darcy. I really like this one. Just saying. Just saying. Thanks everyone. See everybody in Twitter. Much love.